Hello, crypto world. Welcome to the Chart Historian. My name is Justin, and on this channel, I delve deep into crypto charts, exploring chart structures, fractals, and patterns. So I have the XRP chart open, and as you can see, the move down that I have been talking about ever since over here has finally, in fact, before that, I've been talking about this move up before it happened. I've been talking about this move down before it happened, actually, but really, that's been my main focus on XRP, since here has been trying to make the case that we are not in a bull run. We are following a range-bound fractal from back in 2019 is over here. We have completed this whole entire structure, and we are currently we were working on this downward part. So as you can see, that downward movement has been completed. Here is a video from July 21, 2023, where I made a prediction that this move down would take place. So what happens next? So I am going to make a prediction. Here it is. This is the peak, folks. From here on out, XRP is going to move down. Now, I don't know the full depth that it will go, but it's going to most likely move down in a typical downward movement. Here is the fractal from this same structure that shows the move down, and so far it's following it. Now, I don't know the depths that these moves will be. I don't know how long it will go sideways. Those are things that are yet to be seen. Every time a fractal plays out, the timing, the height, and the depth are going to be original. So my prediction is that XRP is going to move down once it reaches the bottom, and the move down may resemble something like this. Once it reaches the bottom, we will begin fractal 3. This is the third fractal within this sideways range-bound time. After that fractal comes the bull run. So my prediction is regarding this move down. We are going to move down. This is the peak. That is my prediction. To see how it plays out. And then here is another video recorded on August 8th where I threw out the 3 different possibilities XRP could be doing. And in there, I also discussed the possibility of XRP dropping lower or below this area right here. Since we are over here, I am pulling from this part. Since we've already completed this wave, there's 3 waves in this structure: wave A, wave B, and wave C. So we are working on this part right here. Now, historically, it has gone down to around here. This is where that pullback comes to. In this case, it actually went below it. Now, that is always a possibility, but normally it goes somewhere around the beginning part of the move up. So, folks, the purpose of this is not to gloat. You know, I am just a normal person. I attribute me stumbling on this type of technical analysis to God. I got into technical analysis years ago, like in, I don't know, around 2008 during the Great Recession. And it just clicked with me. I was like, man, I can do this. However, it wasn't as simple as I thought. I loved it. I lived in Investopedia, learning as much as I could, bought tons of books on it, and the reality is I got decent at the kind of the traditional technical analysis, but in the process, you know, they say you don't go to college, there's no college course for technical analysis, but you do pay your dues through the money you lose as you learn. Well, I went through that too. So all along the way, I always had an inkling that there was more to it, and I kept seeing patterns, and at first I was like, man, that can't be the case. There's no one that I can find online that validates this thinking, so I ignored it. But then it always stuck with me. I always saw these patterns that appeared to be repeating. So at a certain point, I decided, you know what, I'm going to delve into this more, and once I did, it was really cool. It just answered so many questions, and I felt like it was a God thing. God gave me the ability to see these structures, and I ran with it. So, but anyways, all that to say is I am just a normal Joe, but what I've discovered, I believe, can add a lot to technical analysis. So let's delve into what's going on over here. So if you take this declining structure right here, copy and paste it, it will look something like this. So as you can see, first off, it's a close, it ended up doing what the fractal said it would do. Now, there are some deviations here and there, but for the most part, it's a new iteration of this fractal. Now, over here is what I want to talk about. So if we go back to the 20 decline, so we have this move down right here, and then it bounces up and makes another low, and then it kind of winds its way down to a point before moving into the next fractal, fractal 3. So this is the part that I believe we are in right now. Now, there is a possibility that it could drop lower, just like it shows here. When you copy this into a fractal form, it does not pick up these wicks. So as you can see, that wick has been left out. It just shows a dip, but in real life, it went down lower. So that fractal that I showed over here does not include this wick. So there is a possibility that it could drop lower. Now, I'm going to argue the other side. So if you look at this structure today, let's zoom in a little more. So what I like about this structure so far is that you have the drop, you have the pullback, and then it drops here again. So here's the drop, here's the pullback, here is that drop right here, which in this case wicked below. So I believe there's a good chance that we will not get that wick down. That was potentially this right here, and now we are continuing to move along to the termination of this downward movement. Now, this could also be doing something on a larger scale, so maybe this move up is still part of this. I don't know. I kind of don't think so, but I'm not going to rule it out because it is still a possibility. So I would just be prepared for a potential wick down that resembles something like this. Right now, it actually looks like it's following this right here. So just keep that in mind. So where do we go from here? So for those of you who have subscribed to this channel, for a while, you're already familiar with this right here. So here is the macro structure of the XRP chart. So XRP moves up in a bull run, it declines, and then it goes into a range-bound time that exists after the decline and before the next bull run. I take this sideways range-bound time and I divide it into 3 separate fractals. So fractal 1, I even divide further into different parts. So part A is the move up and down. Part B is the part that goes flat and sideways. We see that over here. It's kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in a little better. So here we see part A and then part B. Fractal 2 has 3 waves to it, wave A, wave B, and wave C. We are currently in the final parts of this C wave. As you can see over here, we've completed wave A, wave B, and wave C. It blew what it normally does out of the water with the SEC versus the Ripple lawsuit ruling. However, the main structure continues to play out. As you can see here, it moved down, it moved down. So as soon as that small part completes, this part right here, we will then move into this third fractal. Now, the essence of this third fractal, as I pointed out before, price moves up, comes to a point, it crashes, it moves back up, does a correction, and then it's off to the bull run. This structure, be prepared for similar emotions that you experienced with this decline that has just taken place. This is going to be another potentially cataclysmic event that shakes people out. It's going to take a while to play out. This fractal so far has taken roughly 180 days to play out. This second fractal has roughly taken 160 days roughly to play out. I don't know how long this fractal will take to play out. My guess is it could potentially be something similar to these. So we still have some time for this structure to play out. Once this structure plays out, then it is the bull run. So let's jump back to where we are. So we are waiting for this to materialize. Once this materializes, this right here is part of the third fractal. It's the beginning portion of the third fractal. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. There are many iterations of this structure. Some go flat like we see here. Some move up right away. So we will need to give it some time to see what iteration this third fractal takes, but we are almost done this remaining fractal. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of you who have recently joined this channel. You know, if you had the courage to ignore the sweet words of we are near a bull run, we're at the beginning of a bull run that was rampant in crypto Twitter, for example, and I imagine other places, it was just so strong, that message. If you were willing to look past all that and subscribe to my channel, who had no flattering words to say, I was adamant we were dropping, we were going to complete this downward movement we just completed. My message was not one that most investors want to hear. But if you hit that subscribe button and followed me during this whole event, you know, hats off to you. You have the mindset that will make a good investor. You're open to hearing news you don't want to hear. And I think that type of person generally will tend to fare better than the people who are narrative shopping. Narrative shopping is a dangerous thing to do in investments. And those who are peddling narratives, there are many of them out there, they're just as disoriented as everyone else right now. They did not see this coming. They've convinced themselves that this was a bull run. When this idea first came out that XRP was going to have a bull run when it got clarity from this court case, well, that sounded good and logical at the time. The moment we got the clarity here, I knew that it was not going to go the way people thought it would. Because the macro structure is stronger than the narratives we come up with. All those narratives that we're using, this fractal that we're saying XRP is right here and ready to take off, and this pullback was just a mere little pit stop, all that has fallen to the ground. It's in ruins right now. It's been blown out of the water. You have to really use wisdom with narratives. Again, I am nothing special. I just happen to discover a method that allows you to look forward into the future, and I hope to share that methodology with as many people who are interested in the coming days. So here we are back at today's chart. If you found this video helpful, it'd be much appreciated if you hit that thumbs up button. I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this should be used as financial or investment advice. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I suggest you do. You know, this type of technical analysis is original. You're not going to find it anywhere else. This is something that I discovered. I believe it has withstood a good acid test with this whole move up and this decline. I predicted the move up before it happened. I predicted the decline before it happened. There are exciting days ahead. I will continue to follow this chart as it develops. So having hit that subscribe button, you'll be kept up to date with all my XRP analysis. And it'll also help you to find me easier since I'm a new channel. You know, I just got over 500 subscribers, and that is a big deal for me. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you catch my next video. Have a great day, and bye for now.